Welcome to another Mr. Kube's Photoshop tutorials. This is the Model in White. You open up in here in Classroom. You have your Model in White JPEG. Click that, download it, and open it here in Photoshop. Also click your Model in White, and it'll be in a different tab up here. Okay, so this is how supermodels are made. They're real people that we airbrush and fix. So this is how we're going to do it. Here is your before picture. Nice person I found on the internet, something appropriate. And then boom, after the fact, made her into what you would consider a Barbie doll, fake human being who is now on magazine worthy. Because here in America, we like fake things. Okay, here we go. A pretty girl with some blemishes is a perfect candidate for my tutorial. So I have found that Model in White for you guys, just so that way, because it actually took a long time to find a model that had some blemishes. Nothing wrong with her, nothing wrong with the blemishes. But we're just trying to get them on a magazine. All right, for the sake of the tutorial, we assume that she wants to be model who has requested it. Okay, so step one, opening our image in Photoshop. We're gonna use the heel brush to remove any obvious marks or blemishes. Be as thorough as you like, or the cleaner the skin is to start with, the better the results will be at the end. So small brush size is awesome to help get these away. So I'm gonna go over here, click on the spot healing tool. Again, zooming in is really important. So this is super cool. So I'm going to click on this little mole and it goes away. So any blemish on her skin, I can click on it. And again, the smaller it is, the more accurate it's going to look. So what this tool does, it takes some stuff from around the surrounding area and makes it kind of blend in. So you can be however particular you want with that. So we're going to just kind of maybe concentrate on her face a little bit by clicking on some of her freckles, because though there's nothing wrong with them, we like our face to look like a plastic Barbie. Okay, so clicking and gradually getting rid of any sort of blemish that she may or may not have. Okay, boom, there goes that mole off on the side of her neck, that's the word. Okay, again, however close you want to be. All right, so that's pretty close, brushing away all the blemishes. All right, so step two. Once you have done that, you can we're going to do that. Oh, let's do a couple optional thing. Here we go. Clone stamp tutorial. Whoa, careful. What is happening? Well, I'm deviating from the tutorial because this is kind of cool. Let's say we want to hide this undergarment. So those of you that want to work a little harder, you push the Alt key when you're on the clone tool. You can go boom. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to move this skin over here. And boom, away goes that part of her clothing. Okay? So that's how we can do that. Let's do it with a little bit with this shirt, and we're going to just turn it into a little bit like that. Okay? So it's just not perfect, but now she doesn't have any lingerie showing. Okay, beautiful. And you can do the same thing over on this side. Option, let's first fix that little line right here. Just with the heel brush tool, clone stamp, Alt over here, and then I'm going to be able to just move her skin over and get rid of this. Alright. Okay, so again, you can be however picky you want to be, or you don't want to be, right? So again, just kind of melding it together. I'm going to take some of this and boom. We're going to call that good. Use the heel brush tool to blend some of this in. And good. So when we zoom out, can't really tell. Looks okay. Awesome. Beautiful. So now, step 2. back to the actual tutorial. You're going to finish using the heal brush. You're going to duplicate this layer. So right click, duplicate layer. Want to label it. What are we labeling it? Dust and scratches. So label it dust and scratches. Okay. Okay, so why are we doing this? Well, we'll find out. So we're going to add some filters. So we're going to first add the dust and scratches filter. So we're going to go to filter, and where is dust and scratches? I think it is in noise, dust and scratches. So what we are doing, noise, filter, noise, dust, scratches. For this example, I use 5 pixels and a threshold of 0. So we're going to change, we're going to like zoom out a little bit. Let's go to her face because that's the easiest way to see it. So I used a radius of 5 and a threshold of 0. Go ahead and change things. So if we do that and then it makes nothing really happen if our threshold is really high. Okay, so we're going to keep our threshold at 0, but we're going to maybe change our picture. So what this is doing, it is kind of turning our skin a little bit more plasticky. All right, so for example, I think 5 works for me. So I'm going to push OK. Again, very, very important that you do this to the duplicated layer. We don't want, so we blurred it a little bit. See, dust scratches on, dust scratches off. Okay, here we go. Don't want it to look too blended. All right, this one is pretty a little bit more. So if we wanted to, we can go a little bit more crazy, but whatever you think. So next filter, step 3, we're going to use the good old Gaussian blur, removing anything banding that might have occurred. So that's just the kind of the lines that have happened. Don't have too much of that right now, so I think we're going to be good. But we're going to give this whole image a creamier complexion. Again, filter, blur, then Gaussian blur. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Again, I like zooming out, going up to her face so I can see what we're doing here. And what did I use the radius at? I used a radius of 2. So let's go to 2. Let's go a little bit farther. So it's just we're just blurring this whole picture. So I'm going to go filter. I'm going to go 3 because I think, or 2 point something. All right. Again, whatever you want to do, it makes it a little bit blur. Push OK. Boom. Again, making sure it's on that layer. Oh my goodness. Where are you at? There you are. Okay, going on. Step 4. Preparing our model's new skin is to add some texture. Human skin is not a plastic substance, so we're going to add some noise. Filter noise and add noise. So filter noise. We're going to add noise because right now, if we go up and over to her face, we are all blurred a little bit. Okay, so we're going to add not a ton. I'm just going to go up a little bit because we don't want to see the pixels, right? Like if you have 120, 200%, you get rid of everything. So we're going to go, I think, 0.7. That looked great. So it just gives it a little bit of noise, so that way we got that going. It doesn't have to be 0.7, but that seemed to work for this one. Okay, our new skin is now ready to choose. We're going to add a layer mask. So this is new. We're going to go to this little picture right here, and it says add layer mask. Boom. It has a little thing right here. So we've added the layer mask. We're going to paint this by filling it black. So we click here, we click on our paint bucket, make sure it's black, and click wherever, and this should turn black. What this does, it kind of is those one of like scratch and remove things. So right now we are we covered that whole entire layer with black ink, pretty much. So makes it disappear, and we're going to etch it out. So fun part, it is this where we get to paint this plastic skin on, because if you look, remember, her eyes were getting a little blurry and all that. All right, so we're going to go select the brush tool, and we're going to go to white. So I'm going to make sure we click on the mask, brush, switch this, we're at white. I like to use a little bit of a fuzzier brush, one of these soft rounds. So any size really, the bigger the better for a little bit. So I'm going to go 100 just so we can do that. Again, white, zoom in. So here's the cool part. Ready for this? Yeah, you are. You're born ready. Okay, so now we are scratching away the black. See over here? Okay, there's some little white showing. We're scratching away the black and we're adding back on her plasticky looking skin. So essentially we're painting on her skin. So if I get rid of the background, I am painting her skin on. Okay? So we're just painting the skin. We want to leave the things that will, like, we don't want to get rid of one of her eyes, right? Because now she has a blurry eye and that doesn't look good. So if you do that, you can always paint it black, switch. We're going to paint her eye black so that way we get rid of her eye. Maybe add that back so we know where we're going, and boom, there's the clarity that we're looking for. So again, switch that to white, painting on the skin white. So now we're doing that. Okay, you can start with a big brush, but we're going to need to get a small brush. So let's do that. Get some of those hairs out of the way. Oops, I should have probably gotten rid of those hairs with the spot healing brush. Okay, get rid of some of that there. Okay, that's a little too big, so let's take our skin in here. We don't want to cover the eyebrows because then they're going to lose a little bit of clarity. Oh, I don't want to get rid of that either. Undo, undo, undo. We want her eye lids to still have some clarity. Okay, so again, oops. Going for is trying to keep it realistic to a point. I mean, this is not realistic at all, but again, we don't want to like cover up some of her features. So you can always double check by getting rid of that. Oh, I have a hole in her lip, so I want to cover her lip up, maybe get a little bit more of that going. All right, so we want to just make sure that we're doing a good job with that. Let's see, maybe get this part of her lips, her lips. All right, do we want to, oh yeah, let's get that going so it's a little bit less shiny. All right, cool. All right, and then we're going to do that to all of her skin. Okay, the whole body. And nope, not opacity. I wanted this guy. Oh, too big. Okay. All right, so in time purposes, we're going to just kind of skip through that, pretend I did all of that. After then, we paint over it, color black like I just said. Once you finish your painting, it should look like that. All right, okay. Step 8, we're going to do some cosmetic changes. So it has a little bit of red skin, so we're going to go to the hue adjustment layer. So layer, use the hue adjustment. So we're going to go layer, a new adjustment layer, hue saturation. All right, push OK. So that does that. All right, we're going to then go ahead and look around, mess around with these. We can change her skin to, we can take her to purple. All right, but we're gonna just kind of get rid of it a little bit, and we just change it ever so slightly, getting some of the red out, and so now she looks a little less red. Okay, again, just playing around with those numbers like I just did, doesn't really matter. Okay, adding another adjustment layer. We're going to add a photo filter. All right, so we're going to change this. Click, oops. Add a layer, a new adjustment layer, and what did I just say? I forgot. Photo filter. Layer, new adjustment layer, and our photo filter. Where is that? Why can't I find that? Oh well. So I created this tutorial on Photoshop and not Phototech and all that stuff. Alright, photo filter. Oh, there it is. Duh. I just can't read. Photo filter. Let that know that's a photo filter. We're going to change it to sepia. Alright, so we're going to go boom, color, maybe a little bit darker, and that gives her skin just a skosh of that. You can change this to do it, but we don't really want it more than like 20%. Okay, this is 50% on this one. Wow. Okay, for me, that looks a little much, so I'm going to keep it like 30-40%. Beautiful, that looks good. Okay, tutorials, not that one, it is that one. And okay. Here's the fun one. Bulk of the work is done. We're going to take a detour, liven up the model's eyes. So go to a new layer mask and do that. So one thing that I like to do, we're going to go back and to the original background. We're going to create a new layer. All right, we're going to label this layer eyes. And we're going to make a circular section over the eyes and fill them with green. So it doesn't really matter where these are. So I'm going to put the eyes on top, zoom into the eyes. We have 2 minutes left of class, so hopefully I can get this done in 2 minutes while everybody signs out. So again, do that. Let's use the Alt button to get rid of some of these. I like to use quick selection and then touch up with the brush selection tool. And so how does that look? That looks okay. Get rid of a little bit of there. And that looks awesome. So what am I going to do? We want our eyes to be a little green. So let's paint them bright green. Yeah. And boop. Green eyes. All right. So easy peasy. We're going to change this layer right here to overlay. And boom. Oh, that's still a little creepy. Okay. So we're going to zoom out, change the opacity. Does it tell you to do that? I think it does. Layer mask, change the opacity down to about 30%. So again, this opacity makes these things clear. So I'm going to push deselect and deselect, but we're going to change this layer down to about, I don't know, this 12% looks nice and poppy green. All right, and as the bell rings, my class is going to leave nice and quietly, and we're going to keep on going to step 12. Final process, we're going to sharpen our image a little bit, unsharpen our mask filter. So we're going to complicate this, but first we need to duplicate our original layer. So we're going to go down, right click, duplicate layer, background, duplicate. I think I'm supposed to name it something else. What am I supposed to name it? I'm going to name it overlay, actually. Going to name it overlay because that helps me know what that is. Background, overlay. Okay. And then I'm going to have to drag this all the way up to the top like this. Boom, there goes all of our work is gone back to our original person. So we're going to set this new layer to overlay again. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Again, we're trying to sharpen up the pictures just a skosh. All right, set it to that. We're going to use a high pass filter. So while this is there, go to filter. Then we're going to, wait, I forgot. Filter, other, high pass. All right, so what we're doing now is we're taking that more sharp picture and we are changing it just ever so slightly to get that going. All right, so high pass filter, changing it up. This person used 23 point whatever. That looks a little creepy to me, so I'm going to go a little bit softer, Again, we're just going for a slight bit. And again, remember, all I did was change her face, so nothing else is actually changing on her body. So for me, this looks like a 5 to 6. So I'm going to push OK, and boom, there goes that. And then you can change the opacity of this to get it going. A little bit less opacity. Boom, there's some pop happening from the original overlay picture that we just added, and it makes it just a little bit sharp. Very handy layer. Okay, ended up with 30%. What did I end up with? 33%. Look at that. Great minds think alike. Oh wait, it's the same mind. So again, that's about what we have, slightly different. All done. What a marathon. Took us 20-something minutes. This finished product looks like that. Nice, pretty Barbie doll that is not what our goal is again. Again, like I said, I don't think you need to worry about blemishes like this, but wanted you to realize that most of the pictures you see on the internet, on magazines, are Photoshopped. They even Photoshop videos and movies now. So self-image, girls, guys, it's mostly fake. So now work on this model in white, and we're going to go ahead and then create a model of yourself and create a fake version of yourself. Ta-da! Thank you so much, and have a great day.